those toes and I can wiggle. Look at that left one, it's wiggling. See that? Wiggle, 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 left toe. Wiggle, 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 left toe. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Hey everybody. So this is especially for DACO. This is a segment on feet. And no matter what your body type or what's going on with your body, our feet are a really crucial place. They are what hold us up. They are how we ground to the earth. All of our nerve endings are down there in the bottom of the feet. So love your feet. Oh my gosh, our feet are so important. So other than just holding you up and being this miraculous sort of engineering feet where the arches provide the support for your whole body, the feet are also where the lymph ends up, and all sorts of different health things can happen to our feet over time, as you probably know. We can get different things in an able body, and also if you have a disability, you can encounter all sorts of different problems, unfortunately, with your feet. Especially in paralysis, because there's not a lot of return blood flow, venous blood flow back to the heart. A lot of people suffer from edema and various different complications around the feet. So I have some wonderful Joya Irwin toe spreaders in my feet right now. These are these little blue things that I've gotten wedged in between all of my toes. And what I do is I put these in before I go into my shower in the morning. And I let them be a part of my whole shower routine. And then when I finish my shower routine, I'll often do a few stretches with them in it as well. So I did a couple forward bend, my morning stretches with the toe spreaders in, and getting a really nice fanned out feeling in the back of my pelvis right now. And also I'm really feeling a lot of pulsing coming up from my feet. So I know that my feet are speaking to me, even if I can't feel them. So the next thing that I would do is I would bring my legs in and use my bolsters to kind of help support them from just flopping over or sliding off the bed. So I'll get a big bolster there with a bit of weight into it, and then I'll pull my feet out and bring them toward my body, and then I probably would end up crossing my legs to do this routine that I'm going to be showing you. Just because that way, especially if you're a quad, you can actually get a little bit more close to your feet. So right now I'm just letting that spasm, that tight sort of tensegrity in my hips release, and my leg go slowly calm right down and into position. And then the other foot. And what I would do from there is take another bolster, just put it somewhere where I can bring that foot up onto it. This was the leg that I broke last year, so I treat it a little bit more carefully when I'm doing cross-legged stuff, and I try and make sure that it's got a lot of support. So from there, with my toe spreaders in and with a nice kind of a angle on this leg, I would do some more stretches, of course, but I would also do my footwork. So I usually go to my Achilles and I just start to rub upward toward the heart and get all that lymph back up away from the feet. You can do this even if you don't have hand function. I use the back of my hand a lot for massaging. They're great. So then I go to the bottom of my feet and I just rub a little bit down there. Say hello, hello. And then I get the top of the feet, because I really used to love getting foot massages, and I know how good it feels. Even though I can't feel it necessarily on the surface, I can really feel the effect of it. And then I'll take out my toe spreaders, because they shouldn't be in for a super long time. Maybe like 15-20 minutes is probably your maximum. And unless you have them in the shower, I mean 15-20 minutes after your shower. So take them out, and then what we're going to do is we're going to wiggle these toes individually. So I'm just going to bend my toes back, and I'm going to make a sound, and the sound is ZJ. And I use a little bit of pulsing. That's the first piece. And then I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to go on the top of the foot, and I'm just going to go, oh. You could also bring your other hand around the heel. And the O sound is a really distributive sound that gives a lot of information to the cells and helps them kind of bounce around a little bit. So they get often very compressed in their shoes, and especially if we're not walking or doing any movement in them. So the more sound and the more vibration you can bring to your feet, the better. So, oh. And don't worry that it's not getting there exactly. It is actually, even if you can't feel it. And even if you don't have feet, you could still do this if they were not there. If you had your legs given away. So that I'll do for about 5 or 10 minutes. Now, if I'm lying on my bed, I could actually get my foot really close to my head still. So I would often do those sounds right into the foot, which is even better. And then I would take the foot and I would bring it into total dorsiflexion. So that means that my foot is right at 90 degrees to the heel. And it's pretty much almost exactly there right now. And I just let it hang out there for a while. I think it's super important that even though we're not walking, some of us, and if we have, feet that have been immobilized due to whatever situation, that we still keep in mind that whole line from the foot all the way up back into the back of the pelvis is the connection to your spine. And it also is, really important to consider that with dorsiflexion, you're stretching all the hamstring muscles. And if you don't have dorsiflexion, you'll never walk. So keep it up. I know a lot of people that, have toes or feet that, are constantly, dropsy foot now. And you don't want to have that. You want to try and keep these muscles intact as much as possible. We don't know what's going to happen, right? And one day we could all be walking around and dancing together, hopefully. So take good care of your feet, and walk on.